broadcaster. I'm not a professional. I'm not a podcaster. My videos are not that cool or slick. I'm just here. I'm live. I'm doing what I love to do. I am missing the link, so I'm gonna find it real quick. So pardon me while I look like I'm searching my computer because I am. Um, I'm gonna share the link with the Kickstarter because again, I don't need to make $1 billion. I don't even need to make any money on this. Right now, for what I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to make comics that people will see. That's really my only goal here. Um, Nobody gets into comics. Hey, I see Ted. Okay, I've got comments. Thank you. Awesome. Hey, Ted. Um, uh, so yeah, nobody gets into comics to get rich. I mean, you just really can't. Um, you either do it because you love it, or you just shouldn't do it at all. I do it because I love it. I will always do it. If I were independently wealthy, I would still do exactly what I'm doing. I would just do it in a nicer house. That's sort of my saying. My mom had a saying when I was growing up. Every time we would see a package or a sign or some kind of logo, she would go, "Somebody got paid to draw that." And I grew up with that in my ear, like Joe Black. Oh man, that's all right, Joe. I was late. Um, I also, again, I told you I'm not a professional broadcaster. I literally was on for 2 minutes before I realized I never clicked the go live button on the streaming service, and so I was playing the video and I was talking about the Kickstarter and son of a gun. I, I realized I was talking to no one, just talking to myself. So as I mentioned, literally every time I've done a live stream, and I've been doing them for a couple months now, at least once or twice a week, something has gone wrong, some technicality right before I go on, because I think I've got everything figured out. Something's gone wrong. So the clippy thing that I have this little one of these little phone holder clippy things that holds my phone up so I can split screen and do a live draw. Um, so I'll be over here talking to you, and I'll be over on this side of the screen drawing. Well, it broke because stupid me, I tried to move it, and so now it's not working. But I'm gonna still do this sketch cover today, damn it, whether I like it or not. Thanks, Joe. Um, Senior moment. Hey, man, I'm only just so old. I don't know. Age is a number, and I still believe that. I'm definitely not as young as I used to be, but I mean, um, with enough caffeine, I can do anything. Got my mellow yellow. So what I'm going to do today when I do my live drawing is I'm going to be holding the phone with the camera and try and hold the phone in one hand and draw in the other, just because I did promise another sketch cover today. So I got through all the things I want to talk about. Didn't have a list ready, so bear with me as I mentally prepare myself to start sketching in front of other human beings again. Looking forward to that coming back. Got my vaccines. Got my daughter got her vaccines. We're getting back to real life. I'm not jumping in both feet, but little by little, I'm feeling more comfortable going out in the world and being around people and doing more things. Theater's coming back, and that's exciting. We have a local theater here in Bay City that's doing a show, and my daughter got to do a play, and it was weird because it was all kids on stage with masks and distancing in the seats, like every other row was empty. But it was cool. It was cool because for the last 18 months or so, the kids have gotten nothing, and my daughter, uh, the way I love drawing, the way I love art, she loves performing. So between dance and theater, that's her life. And the hardest part of this pandemic for me, because luckily, uh, we were lucky enough not to be sick or anyone in our immediate family get too sick. Um, the hardest part for me personally was watching my daughter lose everything this past year and a half. I mean, so getting to go back to that is exciting. So this weekend we're going to Ohio for dance competition. It's the first real dance competition. I'm really excited to do it. I'll be a backstage prop dad because that's what dads do. See you tomorrow, Ted. Oh yeah, man, guys. Um, I will throw a link in the comments later, but tomorrow I'm going to be on the Ted Davies Artistry Show, TED Talks. I'm excited about that. I love talking to Ted. He's a great guy. He kind of is the person who inspired me to start doing these videos just because I didn't realize that it was something that's possible for a novice like me to dip his toes into the water. I thought you had to be a really big time broadcaster and be serious about the craft of it. And again, I will, self-deprecatingly apologize left and right that I'm not super polished at the broadcasting side of things. I'm reaching out because I'm doing stuff, and I've been doing it at home alone for about 2 years. So getting out like a lot of people into the world and reaching out through the miracle of the internet, it's exciting, and I still have things to bring to the world. Like, man, we have the Angel's Blood Kickstarter, which again, going really well. Needs to go better, but it's going really well. I got 1 week left, and I hope everybody. We have reward tiers starting at just $1. You can get a digital copy of the book if you just back it for $1, and that's because, like I said, it's not about money for me. It's about getting my work in front of more people. Mike and I have a really interesting story, I think, and we want everybody to, as many people to see it as possible. So you can support it just because you want to support it. You can support it for $1, and you'll get a digital copy of the book. But there's reward levels all from $1 up to like $100. I mean, I have original artwork, art pages, and stuff. If for super backers, and we have a few people that are cool enough to actually want my art. I love that. So anyway, enough about me though. I love what I'm doing. I'm super excited about the Kickstarter. And it's exhausting. I won't lie. I work it really hard every day because I'm I'm doing videos, but I'm also making. You've seen some of the videos that I've made with music by the incredible Chase Passion. I work the messages and the updates, and um, just constantly keeping on top of the Kickstarter. It's actually a full-time job in itself. I love it and it's worth it, but it's exhausting, and when it's over, I'm gonna sleep. I promise, eventually. So I'm going to try and do a little sketching on this cover here. And if it doesn't work, bear with me because I will keep drawing and then I'll just show it to you. But if I can get this thing to work by holding it, that's sort of my goal here. Yeah, this is awful. Oh my goodness. Let's see, Ken, what's your deal? I'm not sure that I can just hold this and draw the whole time, but um, so I've been doing these sketch covers, and it's one of the reward tiers. These are Angel's Blood 1 sketch covers. We're going to do sketch covers for the Zero project. We just can't get any of that till the whole thing is funded and paid off. But so I have a couple of covers you may have seen me do in the past shows. So this guy, I haven't done one of Golgoth flying around, and I had a really interesting cover by one of our backers requested for Jack Kirby's Demon #1. So I did an homage to that, and today I'm going to do something just totally original. I didn't get a special request on this one, so I'm going to assume that I can draw whatever I want. And what do I like to draw? Well, I mean, to be honest, I like to draw the Hulk. You guys know that. I'm a Hulk guy, but this is Angel's Blood, and if you didn't request a Hulk, I'm not going to throw a Hulk on there. I'm going to do, you know what I haven't done? I'm going to do a close-up. Golgoth, besides being a demon, he's got a very elaborate face, and that's by design. When I'm drawing, and one of the things that I can tell you, and I think a lot of artists will tell you that, is that we like to draw detail. Some people are intimidated by detail. Me, I love it, and in fact, I live for it. So Golgoth, I made his face all burnt and wrinkly right from the jump. So I'm going to do a close-up of his face here on this cover. Pardon my wicked sketchy cover. As I'm holding the camera with my one hand. So something about being a creative person and doing creative things that you want to put out into the world. It's exciting and it's awesome, and it's also nerve-wracking. And I'm not excited. That's not the word. I'm always impressed and intrigued by other people in my field. And by my field, I mean the field of comics. I tend to consider myself part of that, even though I'm a very small indie creator, a very small following. But It's another thing about it, man. Like every fan is hard earned. If you're watching this, uh, you either know me from some other way, or um, I really tried hard to get my work in front of you for you to see. And I'm sorry, as I hear things, I'm checking messages. Cool, cool, cool. I had something else I wanted to say before I started drawing, so I'm going to get to that in a second. So anyway, yeah, most indie creators, though, we work hard to earn our fans. Um, Hopefully, if we're good at it, we work hard to keep them. So by doing stuff like this, I want people to know that I appreciate everyone that's watching. I appreciate everyone that's ever read a book of mine, or bought a drawing, or just like and share it on social media. We talk a lot about like um, exposure, and it's a two-sided, double-sided sword there. Like some people want to pay you an exposure. Like as an artist, people want to go like, I don't have any money up front, but if you draw this book for me, it's really great exposure for you. And not that there's not some truth and some goodwill behind that, but it's also kind of a trope that gets people to draw a bunch of stuff for free, and often does not lead to anything. And so it's a hard thing for an indie creator to be like, I really would like some exposure, but at the same time, what I do has value, and I need to make sure I'm getting value for it. I'm gonna try and go in a little bit here because I always liked doing Angel's Golgoth's eyes. The eyes skin is dried and cracked right here, and then he doesn't have really pupils. He's just got where the pupils of his eyes would be. They fade off into white, and that's how I draw him looking. So if you ever see him from a distance, you really don't notice it, but it's the kind of thing that it's there, and I know it's there, and that's all that matters, right? So many times where our creators are just toiling in obscurity, uh, drawing to entertain ourselves. And that's not just art. I mean, I know musicians who do the same thing. There's guys that put out songs or videos, make music, theater sometimes, whatever it is you do. Sometimes you feel like you're just trying to put it out to the world and nobody's watching or listening, but that's okay. I I think still, Lin-Manuel Miranda said it best, um, and I'm gonna misquote him, so I'm just gonna paraphrase instead. He said about theater, "Don't do it if you can do anything else." And the theory behind that just being to do theater, like you can't do it to get rich. You can't do it to make money. You can't do it um, with a payoff in mind necessarily, because it may never be that payoff. So it's going to take a lot out of you, and you're going to get nowhere in a lot of times, a lot of ways. And most people aren't Lin Manuel Miranda. Most people don't have a Hamilton in their toolbox. You know, I have been working for years, and I don't have that one. I love Angel's Blood, and I love the books I've done, but I mean, I don't have that one idea that's hit with the world, and I'm gonna launch to catapult to stardom or something. And I don't care about that. I don't need that. But it also means that I'm gonna keep working, and probably working still a second job, part-time job, a regular job, day job, whatever, making ends meet like I do now, because drawing comics doesn't pay the bills full time. There's not enough of that, and there's not enough big money in it. Even the best artists, you can't make a fortune drawing comic book pages. You just can't. The very few that can command an exorbitant amount that let you pay the bills. So what happens is you end up being as a freelancer, you have to hustle. You have to do a lot of different things. You can draw comics, but you can also take commissions. You do shows. Hopefully, but by doing what we're doing here, hopefully, you sell books. Hold on, I'm gonna put this down and keep talking and drawing. Hit me up in the comments if this is too boring, because I don't want to be boring. But I can't hold that thing forever. I'm gonna get a new rig for next week. I promise. Right now, I'm gonna do a little more drawing, and then I'll show it to you when it's more complete. So I'm gonna talk a little bit personally because I always add a personal element to these streams. I don't know what to call them, man. I feel like calling it a podcast. It's not a podcast. I have no pod, and it's not audio. It's just me talking on video. But guys, there's something important that I always want to put out there every week, and that is connection. I mean, why am I doing this? I'm reaching out, trying to connect. I want to connect to somebody. Hopefully, there's somebody watching or listening. I thank you. I got a few friends on here now. And I see Joe and Ted, some of my Facebook friends. And hopefully you're watching later and you can see me doing some drawing. But something we've been missing a lot this past year because of COVID and the whole pandemic, not to mention how divided our country has been. We have been missing connection, and it is so important. It's so vitally important because we're social creatures, man, and we need each other. And some people categorize humans as tribal, and maybe we are to a point, but I think that tribe can be expanded. I don't think we have to be limited to that tribe. Like I don't just have to be close to the people that are close to me now. All right. I know that there's more out there. I know there are people. So I'm gonna use an example. I had a really shitty day. Saturday. Not gonna go into detail, but I had a really bad day, a crappy day, bunch of stuff, just stuff was hitting me. Did not enjoy how I was feeling, and two things saved me. Two things brought me back, man. I was really feeling bad. I had a very good friend reach out and somebody just somebody to reach out and tell you it's okay. You're gonna be okay. I'm working, Ted. I am building it. I see you, man. I am, man, and that's one of the things about connection. It's also about networking. But it's like for me, it's just not a business. It's not just a business. I'm making comics because I want people to experience my stories and my art. I do something that I think is valuable, and I want to see. I make comics that I want to make mostly. Sometimes I make comics that people just pay me for, and there have been some jobs out there that were just for the money, and a lot of people do that. You have jobs for money. Going back to my crappy day Saturday, and my point being, we have to take care of each other as people, as humans. My day was rough, and someone helped me out. I'll tell you what, though, I wasn't looking for it, but when I'm having a bad day, and I'm really terrible at hiding it. I really am, man. Like, one of the problems of being usually kind of a outgoing or a extroverted person is that when you're not, people really can tell. So I'll tell you what, because this led me to Father's Day, which I was really happy about. Um, so I had a really rough Saturday, and then um, my daughter had been working on some art for like 3 days, um, and I was really ragging on her too. She's probably watching this. Sorry, um, I've been on her case about cleaning her room and normal stuff. She's 13 now, and feel like half the time all I do is uh, get on her about something. And I think she could tell, and she notices when I'm not feeling okay, and she puts her arms around me, and she gives me a hug, and she tells me I love you, and she tells me it's going to be okay without being prompted or asked, and she doesn't have to be told or or she just notices when I'm not okay. Um, and that makes me happy and proud. And I was like, oh man, I'm really not hiding my feelings very well because I just wanted to keep it to myself. I just wanted to sort of keep my own mood. But I can't, and I should, but that's not me. I've never been good at hiding, which makes me a terrible liar too. I can't get away with shit. Because I really I've never been good at hiding who I am. I keep stuff to myself, but I'm never good at hiding. So back to my original point, we gotta take care of each other. We need one another. I need people. You need people. And this whole year we as a world, I want to say as a society, but I mean the whole planet's been going through this pandemic, and a lot of places maybe still are. I want to make sure that as I'm putting things out into the world, that other people know that um, they're not alone either. So what inspires me is when I see other creators who I think have it all together. Like I network with people from all levels. Like I talk to people who are even newer than me to comics, and much and less audience and less professional work out there. And then I also network with people who are I personally have friends who are work on a national level, and work for the big companies, and and I'm proud of that, and that's impressive. So, but when I see people and we're all going through the same shit, we're all going through the same kinds of things. Sometimes everybody has loneliness, or everybody has periods of self doubt. When I see an artist who I think is the epitome of great, and they post something about like, wow, dude, um, when they post something about not feeling sure of themselves, or not feeling like their work is any good, and I'm just like, what are you even? How is it possible that you have self doubt? And I look up to you so much. But the fact is, that's just normal. That's part of the human condition, and uh, people who are even celebrities in their fields have that kind of self doubt too. I'm reminded lately of Owen Wilson, and that's probably because he's in the new Loki series. And if you haven't watched Loki, dude, Loki is so much fun. Uh, say what you will about Marvel and Disney, man, but they are making some fun stuff. And I tell you what, I really feel like it's character driven. So I support that. Joe, if I were in it for the money, I would suck. I do suck, Joe, but that's okay. And that's my self-deprecatingness. Part of me thinks I suck, and part of me thinks I'm so amazing that everyone needs to watch my videos and wants to see me draw. So I'm gonna pick my phone up, show you a little bit of where we're going here with this drawing right now, because I'm doing that Ken thing where I ramble again and again. And now apparently I don't know how to hold the phone. This is why it's so important to have a thing to hold your phone. And this is why I make pictures and not videos. Okay, so I'm working on a thing. I've got some Golgoth has these long dreaded braids, and I say dreaded braids. I think they're probably both and neither. I usually draw them as braids, but I've lately been getting into less structure for his hair, because I imagine he's in hell and he does not actually take care of it. And I know that people with like dreadlocks really have to kind of work their. I mean, like it's effort to take care of them, keep them looking good. So the same thing with braids. So like his braids aren't kept tight. He doesn't keep growing, but he's supernatural. So it doesn't matter. It's just honestly, much as I think I'm clever, it's just for appearance's sake. So my man here, looking a little evil. I'm gonna put some more neck stuff, details like that, but that's all about it for now. I was rambling about connection and heart and taking care of each other, and that's usually the theme of most of my days. I think we should take care of each other. I think if there's a meaning of life, it's that we're here to help. So to that end, I'm here to help if I can. I try when I can to be helpful. If I can, other people help me all the time, so I get a leg up. Doing these videos when I first started, and still currently, my man Ted. If you're still watching, thanks, Ted. Ted, has tips and tricks for me on how to maybe make my videos a little better, or how to structure myself, or it's something like just wear earbuds and don't get that echo. Um, and that was unprompted. Ted didn't have to reach out to me to help me with anything. I didn't ask him to, and he didn't have any obligation to. But man, I appreciate it. Um, I'm not a pushy person, so I don't go around making sure that everybody is like, "You need my help. You need my help. You need my help." But I promise you, if you're watching and listening, if I can help you, anybody with something, if you need to an ear at least, or someone to talk to or listen, I'm there. Because we've all got times when we need somebody to be there for us. And we all have times that we think nobody is. Everybody, man. You might be surrounded by people and you feel like you're the only person in the room. And that's rough, but it's also normal. It's also so normal. And I think it's something to thank you, Ted. You guys are so nice, man. This is why I like people. This is another thing I think about reaching out and connection. Um, I've had someone a couple weeks ago lost their mom, and I reached out to them out of the blue. This wasn't someone that's a super close Facebook friend or anything, just sort of peripherally. But I just wanted to reach out and say, hey, man, if you're not okay, or if you need anything, if you just want to talk, sometimes you just want to talk outside your circle because your circle has expectations. So maybe you don't want to talk to your mom or dad because there's some other connection there that you don't really feel like dealing with. And sometimes just having a stranger, and I think that's why therapy probably helps people. I don't know uh, firsthand, although I'm a big fan of therapy. I probably should be in therapy, but I think talking to someone who is not immediately in your circle has a lot of value too, because you can uh, you can maybe be more free and open with somebody who doesn't have a daily expectation of you. Somebody doesn't expect you to be strong. Maybe maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a old school buddy, maybe it's just somebody you met on Facebook because you like his artwork. If like I said, I'm gonna stop rambling about that because I had a lot on my mind. But my point was, I had a rough day Saturday, and somebody else who didn't need to help me out helped me out. And and then to that end, also my daughter put her arm around me, made me feel better. And then she gave me some artwork. So for Father's Day, she gave me this awesome painting that she'd been working on for several days, and I didn't know what it was for. And she started asking me a couple days ago prior, um, "Hey, pick two colors." I'm like, "You ask me a lot of stuff all the time. Whatever, purple and yellow. Um, I need another color. Pick another color. Okay, I'll pick red." She wanted me to pick a picture out of a coloring book. I'm like, and I was a little irritated because I think my mind was on something else, and I was just like, whatever, just you know, do this. And then I felt bad because she was making this elaborate piece of artwork for me, and she made me. I don't have a picture. I'll share it later. It's a double-sided painting, and it said "I love you" on it, and it has her handprint. And she worked on it for 3 days straight. And I had been ragging on her to clean her room and do other things. And then come to find out she had been spending all this time working on something for me for Father's Day as a Father's Day gift. And she still needs to clean her room, but she gets a little bit of a pass for touching my heart like that. And as an artist myself, I appreciate how much goes into all of the detail and uh, the things that you see when you look at a piece of a painting or canvas or a drawing. Uh, when I look at a drawing or a painting, I see time. Uh, that doesn't make sense. I'm going to show you something to help that make sense because it's a point I want to be clear about. When I looked at the triple self portrait by Norman Rockwell, I stood there and I saw every line, every mistake. I saw every pencil line you could see up close underneath the painting. And what I see, instead of just the cool picture that's there, I saw the moments that artist spent making that piece of art. Where is my video? Ken deleted his video. All right, let me show you. All right, this is much similar, but Okay, that was just Spider-Man 2099. Has no real depth to it. I was looking for a Rockwell picture that I did because my point being, I make time. Hey Ted, we'll see you later. Thanks, buddy. Um, when I look at art like that, I see time. I see the time spent. So the reason I like those doodle videos is because you see it sort of shows you the lines and the process, and I see the process. My wife's grandfather. There go my poker chips. My wife's grandfather was a painter, and we have a lot of his paintings around the house. And when I look at them, I don't just see the beautiful landscape. It's there, and I appreciate it, but I could stare at it for hours because I see the person painting it somehow. I see someone putting their passion into it. I see strokes, and I think about the decisions they made every moment that they made it. And it's like watching a movie for me. It's like taking a journey when I see a really good piece of artwork. Um, when I see bad artwork, I don't. I look at it and go, "Oh, that doesn't look like anyone put any effort in." It's because it's not just about how good or bad something is, but it's to me, it's about effort. So I put effort into my work, and I hope it shows. I'm almost done with this sketch cover, and I'm going to wrap this up because I realize I've been talking forever about practically nothing. Tomorrow we're going to be live on TED Talks, so I hope anybody that gets a chance to watches that. I don't have any idea what we're going to talk about. Um, I'm just going to do an interview, and I'm looking forward to that because a lot of times I'm just sitting here talking to you, which is kind of me talking to myself, trying to think of stuff to say and do. I took some improv classes in school, and I wish I were a better actor. Maybe if I had more acting chops, I would be better at rambling online. But I'm not. I'm me. I'm Ken. Ken does what Ken do. All right. So here's the sketch cover. I played with this for a little while. You saw most of it being drawn. Um, this is for I forgot his name. I have another backer on the Facebook page or on the Kickstarter page, and I'm gonna share this video with them because one of the reward tiers of the Angels Blood Kickstarter is you can get a video of me drawing your cover. These covers are at a $30 level, I think. They cost a little more, and then it takes my time to draw them, but they're a lot of fun, and I love getting to do special covers. I like having a unique. There is no other book like this now. This is one of a kind. It's got the regular Angels Blood stuff inside of it, but no one else is going to have that cover except this one person. So that's it for today. I said what I wanted to say. I did what I wanted to do. I'm getting nervous because we're down to the wire on the Kickstarter. But I'm also excited because I know the book is funded, so I know that whatever it is, I know we're going to get to make the project. I just like excited about the ideas I have for the next thing. Um, I promised I was going to announce stretch goals. I'm going to make a cool graphic. I'm going to put it up in here and on Facebook and on the Kickstarter. If you don't see the link, it's Angel Blood Zero on Kickstarter. Just search it. You'll find it. It's easy. So our next stretch goal is when we make the $2,000 mark, and I think we will. We're going to hit 1,200 today, but with just 7 days to go. If we can make it to from 1,200 to 2,000, we are going to do a combined edition, one shot, Angel's Blood Zero and Number One, with a brand new special edition cover. I'm gonna do a new cover never seen before, and it'll be one thick book of the two, so it'll be more like a graphic novel or a trade paperback. I don't have the page count. It'll probably be in the neighborhood of 48 or 52 pages, one or the other, somewhere in there. So it'll be a thick book. If we can make that $2,000 stretch goal. The other thing we want to do with the extra money is do something fancy, and this is just maybe for ego, but being a child of the '90s, we both, Mike and I, like the fancy covers. So they've started to offer. Shout out, by the way, to Barry and Jenny Gregory from Kablam. They have been great, and they have printed all the comics that I have personally ever made, at least my self-published comics. So kablam.com is a great, easy to use, affordable way for people to just get their stuff made. They have no limit or no minimum, and no setup fees. So like when I go, if I wanted to make Angel's Blood Zero, I could make one copy for myself. That was it. Um, the more you make, the less it costs and all. But essentially, if you didn't have a way to finance your comics, you could just make them and print them and then birth them into existence. I've done that with a couple of projects that I did just for fun as I was figuring out how to make comics. So Kablam is exciting, and they also comic creators in their own right, artists, and they have a new Kickstarter online as well. It's a really fun looking project. So shout out to Barry Gregory. But back to point. We want to make some cool covers, and they now offer a metallic and a hollow foil cover. And see if I got an example here, because the Hulk homage cover. So this is a special edition cover that I made just for the fun of it, because one, I like the homage covers where you just kind of pay tribute to a past artist or a thing. And Mike and I are both huge Hulk fans, and so this is a copy, kind of, or I hate the word copy. It's a homage, a replication of Hulk #1, which is a big thing. Hey, thank you, Joe. Have fun. You too. I am wrapping this up. I know I'm long winded. For somebody who's not a writer, I sure talk a hell of a lot. So anyway, we're gonna take this cover, gonna put a hollow foil, a metallic cover behind it, and I'm gonna try and get rid of this. So if we make that $2,000 stretch goal, we're going to get all the swag, more copies. We need to do some promotion. So there's some marketing stuff behind the scenes that we're going to do in terms of getting shipping materials and postcards, and trying to get the book into stores and at least out into more faces. But as far as you, the fans go, for rewards, we're going to be making just bigger books, cooler books, and more swag, more posters, more pinups, more um, art prints, more poker chips, keychains, stickers. I got a bunch of swag like that. So thank you all for watching, for supporting Angel's Blood Zero right now. Next week probably be something different. I'm not doing a fundraiser every week, of course, but I'm always working on stuff. And the next thing that's coming up, I'm going to be talking about with just as much passion as this. So I appreciate you. I'm a fan of yours, whoever you are. If you're watching, believe me, you mean something to me. So if I can help you in any way, don't hesitate to reach out, because I think it's important that we connect to each other. Have a great day. Take care of one another. Peace.